Scoring time. Hello, record some report to you live from Fan Expo Portland, and I got an amazing guest with you. I'm here with one of the many juggernauts in voice acting, Yuri Lowenthal. How you doing, sir?
You just called me a juggernaut. How could I only be doing awesome right now?
Yeah, I mean, hey, you're like one of the definitive voice actors for millennials and Gen Z. Like, what does it mean for you to have that kind of title?
It means that if I ever think about that too much, I get really nervous, and Let's just pretend I don't know about it.
Yeah, all right. Let's kick things off with an awesome project you worked on last month, Marvel Rivals. How was it getting to work on that kind of game? It's kind of like a little bit of an Overwatch game.
Yeah, it's Overwatch with Marvel, heroes and villains. It's pretty great. I love playing Spider-Man, so I'll always want to say yes to that. But I'm just really glad that the fans seem to love it and people love playing it. Although I hear Spider-Man is a bit tough to master, but worth the time apparently.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's pretty much fun. Instead of like just thinking it's just simple mechanics and that kind of stuff. Anyway, recently you and Tara got to work on a comic book that you guys published, Topsy McGee. What was that process like?
Oh, thank you for asking about that. Yeah, Topsy McGee is a steampunk graphic novel that we wrote and published, and it's a character that we've been doing things with for years. We did a film. We've done artwork. We have costumes.
Cosplay, huh?
Yeah, cosplay, exactly. We've been trying to find the best way to tell stories with these characters, and at first we thought it was going to be movies, TV shows, that sort of thing. And we realized that takes a lot of other people and a lot of other people saying yes. And we were like, we still want to tell those stories. How can we do it on our own? And doing a graphic novel was a much easier way to go about starting to tell those stories. And so we published a 3-issue the trade paperback, and we're hoping to tell many more stories. It's like sort of like a steampunk, female Indiana Jones. So what's not to love?
Yeah, I managed to take a look at the artwork. It looks like so fantastic. What are some of the inspiration you guys had for the artwork?
I have to leave that up to the artist. This is how it started. We would tell these stories about Topsy McGee, and Topsy McGee is basically based on Tara. And once I was at a convention like this, and I saw an artist whose work I really liked, and I commissioned him to do Tara as this character, Topsy McGee. And the artwork was so great that it inspired us to make a costume, to film a Topsy McGee movie, and then, of course, inspired the look of the character going forward. But each artist, because we had 3 different artists for the 3 different issues, interpreted her a slightly different way, but they're all magical.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, we got to support artists, especially we got to say no to AI. And speaking of AI, right now we're still there's not a lot of talk about it, but we're still in a video game strike for voice actors. Like, what do you think it's important that people need to pay attention to the strike?
Oh man, just the fact that it's going on. Thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of people, there have been a lot of strikes lately. There was the writer's strike and the actor's strike and the video game strike. A lot of people don't even know that it's going on. What we're really fighting for now is, look, we're not trying to stop AI. We're not against technology, but we understand that with every technology, with every tool, there is an opportunity for people to take advantage of people with that tool. And so what we're trying to do, because we know it's so powerful, that we're trying to set up guidelines, just best practices, just a conversation between performers and the AI companies, so that we can make sure nobody gets exploited. And all we're looking for 3 C's. The 3 C's are control. We want to be able to control how our performances are being used. Consent, which is we want to know what our performances are being used for before, so we can say yes or no. And then compensation, of course, is so it doesn't get stolen and we're not out of a job for the rest of our lives. So just fair compensation, and then control and consent. And if we can get those things, I think we can all move ahead, working together, which is why I got into this business in the first place. I love working with other people. I love collaborating. So
yeah, collaboration is really good, and especially all the stuff you mentioned. Like every time whenever I go on TikTok and I see one of those weird Patrick singing the SpongeBob singing, it's like, that is not okay.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. And that's the consent part, right? Yeah.
Anyway, you tweeted about this a while ago. I'm kind of curious. Tell us about a story of your experience working at a video rental store.
Oh, You know, honestly, my for those of you who didn't who were too young to remember this, we used to have video rental stores where you would go and you would rent. See, I have to explain so many things these days. A DVD is a video cassette is a no. But one of my early jobs in high school was working in a video rental store where I grew up, and it is still, because I'm such a movie buff, it is still one of my favorite jobs that I've ever had. Did it pay well? No. but I loved working in a video store. And the sort of the biggest perk was every night I could check out I could bring home 6 movies for free. I couldn't watch 6 movies in one night, but more often than not I walked home with 6 movies, and I'd watch one or I'd just watch bits of them. But yeah, it was the best.
It's like, hey, I got a lot of fond memories for Blockbuster. Anyway, to wrap things up on a final note, recorders, please, Yuri, let us know what you got going on this year. What's some mysterious project you're working on?
You know I can't talk about the mysterious projects. They won't let me.
Yeah.
But hopefully more shows like this. I love to get out and see people. And let's just say, if we can work this strike thing out, there will be a lot more projects. In the meantime, some things are kind of on hold. And it's sad because I want to work with all my friends again.
Yeah, and also working with your friends, of any of those projects, are you still able to do group recordings?
We have done less and less group recordings for animation recently, and it's made me sad. I was just talking to George Newbern about that. We miss those group records. That was always the best. Now we're recording everything solo. I've been working on, a lot of animation recently, and it's only ever one person in the booth. And I miss that camaraderie. I miss the magic that happens when you get a bunch of actors in a room together. We may move a little faster because people are telling funny stories all day, but I do miss that. On the other hand, now for video games, with performance capture, we do get to spend time together on the performance capture stage. Yeah. So that's another thing that I have missed during the strike, is getting on the PCAP stage with actor friends of mine and just telling stories, man.
All right, thank you. That is very beautiful, Yuri. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Recorders, please hit that subscribe button and catch you next time.
Next time.